All right, Gracie. You guys are really annoying tonight. Yeah, you. You're really annoying. Okay, this damn thing. Sorry, guys. Getting this. Oop. Do not mind the wonkiness. Hopefully, can you hear me? I can't see a chat on here. What am I doing here? My channel. I have to watch this on my own thing. There we go. Yay! You can hear me and I can see you, and I don't need my iPad. Cool. All right. Hello. Hey guys. All right. How's the picture? Picture look okay? I'm using my damn phone. I can't curse. This is gonna be hard. Using my gosh darn phone. All right, let me put the light back on. I apologize, my dogs are gonna be underfoot. Come here, Kenny. Make your presence known before everybody asks. Come on, come on. Yeah, I thought not, okay. All right, so, hello. We will be coloring this piece tonight. My voice, if you can't tell, is kind of blown at the moment. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I am doing my best right now, guys. This has been a trial. It's also currently 80 degrees in my garage. This is after blasting the AC for a little bit. So I am hot, I'm dehydrated, I'm working on one thing. I will drown you out, though, if I have the AC going. So, 6 in one hand. All right, let's get this started. If anybody has questions or anything, feel free to ask. I'm not sure if there's a messaging button on here, but if there is, feel free to shoot me a message. I can get that done as well. And just let me know how you want me to approach this. Do you want me to list off the colors that I'm using as I'm doing this, or would you like me to just move through it? One will be a lot quicker than the other, but I am here to assist. So, I guess I could probably keep track of these things, but I use 17,000 colors every time I work on these things. So let's get our initial round together. This will obviously be all Copic. So I am getting my base color for Emma is E50 for me. So I use E50, which it might be in focus, and E51, which I have in both the sketch and the sketch and the original color. And you're gonna see my arm reaching across quite a bit because my other side of markers, my other markers are over here on this side. So I'm just taking a handful of them and getting this like that. What the hell else do I need? Go with this. All right. Okay, here we go. I actually cleaned up in here today, and I don't know where the hell I put anything, so go figure. So just so you see, I have not worked on this cover stock before, so we're going to find out in exactly 3 seconds how this is going to be. Hopefully it's not garbage. So, find out together. Here goes nothing. All right. Oh, that's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. Okay. And basically, my approach with Copics has changed a little bit since the last time I've done anything like this live. I don't actually use Copic too much anymore for the base of things. Obviously, I have to on this sketch cover, but I have been using a mixed media approach, of which one of you guys here has seen on a piece that I cannot discuss. But I've been using a mixed media approach where I use watercolor for the base and then Copic over top. And that seems to kind of be where I'm finding the most use out of these things lately. Because, as I said, I am in my garage and they like to dry out a lot. So you will see me getting up at some point, I'm sure, to go refill one of these things. So I have no color mock-up for this at all. I'm just winging it. You can hear the squeak. That's how you know it's running dry a little bit. So I'll have to refill this in a minute. Which is lovely because I just refilled it like last night. All right. That and hello, welcome to the stream. There's an option between this or Twitch, and I want to start doing more long form stuff once I, get my proverbial act together. And that's where I'll be working on the oil paintings and such. Will be with the long form things, because there is no way I'm going to be able to do an oil painting on a stream. Like, I can start and stop and you guys can see a little bit of it, but for the vast majority of it, ain't no way. Because I don't do a whole lot of alla prima, which is in one sitting. With oil paint, I like to do a more, it's like a halfway step between the classical method where you start with a grisaille and you work up from a black and white underpainting or a really monochromatic underpainting and work your way up to color. I kind of do like a halfway in between where I basically block in my colors and then I pull in more detail as I go through. Oh, thank you. But that will be, I have many oil painting commissions to do, which is awesome. But those will be done on here as much as possible, because some of them are a little not not appropriate for YouTube. So I will figure out how to do those, and I have the camera set up now. I've got to just figure out where I'm going to do it, because this garage is not going to be the best option once this Atlanta summer heat kicks in, which is going to be very quick. Apparently this year it was already mid-80s today. I think last Memorial Day weekend it was 104, so we will see. All right, so I wait for everything to dry and then kind of go back through and lay down a little bit of a second area. You can see I'm not being overly precious about staying within the lines. I used to be obscene about that. I'm not anymore. I am very much just kind of freewheeling this. It's not going to look messy in the end. It does create a much looser, obviously, more expressive piece. This is one color, so you can't quite tell just yet, but the colors tend to it just looks better. It looks more like a painting when you do it that way, because then you also don't have to worry about things blotching and pooling. And when you're working on stock that is not necessarily the best, you have to kind of keep that line of thought in mind. Is there a reason? Oh God, is there a reason why I draw Emma so often? Because I'm paid to. I do love the character. I really like drawing Emma, but I seem to have cornered the market, I think, on her at the moment. So it used to be, for people that have known me for a long time. All right, I got to refill this, so I'm going to talk while I'm getting that. I used to have this issue with, I don't know, just bring the whole box of refills over. Look at that. Yay. Whole big box of them. I used to have this problem with Phoenix. And for people who've been around a long while following my art, I actually put a moratorium on Phoenix commissions because I was asked to draw her so often. I, honest to God, ran out of ideas what to do with her. That was a decade ago, so I'm kind of refreshed on that front at least, but it seems Emma has taken the lead. So I have this cover here. I have let me think. I have 2 Emma pieces that are currently in progress. They're being flattened at the moment, so I can't really share them on the stream. But I have 2 Emma watercolor mixed media pieces that are currently being squished. And I have, let me think how to describe this. It was a watercolor commission of Emma, but it was a dual Emma. I'm not going to spoil it because I don't know if the client wants it kept a secret or not, but I'm going to break it into 2 with her permission. So that way oh, there it goes. That's so much better. Each side has its own ability to shine with it. So let's see, that brings me up what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 2 oil paintings to do of her. So 6, 7. 7 Emmas to do right now. It's a lot of Emma, but like I said, I enjoy her. She's fun to draw. Oh, there's not really a way that you can offend people by drawing Emma Frost. Like, I'm sure there will find a way. Somebody will counter that with me, but I know what people like. So, and what'd you say? Silver Surfer and okay, yeah, Emma and Silver Surfer are your personal faves. Yeah, I have, if you can tell, it's faded at this point, but I have Phoenix wings on me. So you'd think I prefer Phoenix, but no, I like Emma. Emma's always been kind of goals for me. So this color that I'm using now is R20 blush. I'm going back in with RE50 rather. The same one that I used a minute ago, and just kind of blending it out. I apologize for the quiet in here. I don't want this thing to get stricken by any sort of copyright infringement or anything like that. So I am suffering like you guys are with listening to the sound of my voice. It is very warm in here. You can listen to my dog licking himself, though. That's always a good one. Right, buddy? Right. Give the people what they want, right? Nobody wants that. All right. So as I was saying, I'm trying to rebuild my Patreon, rebuild a whole lot of stuff. So I've been, let me think. I think the last time I did a live stream was 3 years ago. And I've just been swamped with client work, which is a good thing in one way. The bad thing is that any audience that you had, when you can't show stuff, they go elsewhere. So I don't blame anybody for it. But yes, my Patreon tanked, and which is fine. Like, I expect it. Economy being what it is, also it's expected. But my Patreon tanked, and then all my social media accounts have tanked or stagnated. So I've got to basically rebuild this at this point, because trying to build up my own, well, I'm trying to build everything back up so I can get my own stuff out there finally. Like, I'll still do stuff like this and, you know, covers and stuff like that when they come along, but I'd like to start being a grown-up and start working on my own stuff finally. So that pitch will be prepped very soon, and get that that's starting to send out. Still not sure exactly how to do it, if I want to go through a publisher or an indie or just kickstart it myself. I don't know. I don't feel like dealing with distribution. Yeah, the algorithm, again, 3 years of not really participating in this, I've lost, or rather, not so much lost, I don't know what the new tricks are for it. I don't know what I have to do to stay on top of things, and bluntly, I can make the reels and things like that, but I personally don't want to appear on camera. Not at the moment. There's a lot of issues on that front mentally with me, but I just don't want to be on camera at the moment. So this is what you get. Person behind the camera. But I exist. I am real. But yeah, so I want to rebuild all that, get the long form stuff going, get tutorials and stuff going again. Kind of being a little self-sufficient and not having to rely upon chasing down paychecks from companies or anything like that, because it gets exhausting. And I will be 43 years old this year, and, well, 42 years old this year, sorry. And that is the Douglas Adams year, meeting of life year, and I just am tired. Been doing this a while. There we go. So as you can see a little bit, this is, it looks a little orange on there, but it's actually quite pink. The iPhone camera changes colors quite a bit, but she's not orange, she's pink. So what I did is I laid the blush color underneath everything before I went in with the darker yellow color, because when I lay the darker yellow color over it, it'll pull everything forward and it'll blend a little better. So let's see, I think I want light coming this way, so that means there's going to be a shadow cast right through there. And then let's give her a little tiny bit of a soft belly. You guys good, pup-pups? Good boys. Hi, Kinsters. Hello. You gonna be a brat? Yes, you are. You're trying to lick my elbow. That feels disgusting. Please don't do that. All right. So if I go quiet, it's not because I don't have things to talk about. It's just because I haven't done this in a while. So I've spent 5 years alone now and only really talking to my dogs. So just feel free to ask questions if you want. And I will answer them and probably talk your ears off, but until I get back into this game a little bit more, I'm going to be like, what? What? What am I supposed to do? I mean, talk? Alright. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, or the microphone rather can pick it up, but I have a cat singing in the background, which always adds a little spice. I guess he wants some music too. And that would be AMRAP, again, for people who've been around for a bit. Here's my old boy. We got Kenny drinking water like she's never had any before in her life. Hold on one second. Okay, good. Thank you. I don't need you puking all over the floor, dog. Anybody else here have dogs that like to drink water until they puke? Nothing's wrong with her. She just likes to drink water until she pukes. Now that I'm able to take a step back. So it also, you have to wait for this stuff to dry, and now I'm realizing this paper does actually take a minute to dry. So does need to be toned down a little bit. So we will not be going back over with E51. We will be going over with probably a violet color and get that going so we can tone down some of these colors a little bit more. Oh God, I hate this squeaky noise. It's been forever and a day since I've had to hear that, but it's back. Sounds like guinea pigs, which I love, but it gets a little much. See? I'm not sure if that picks up the camera. All right, let me think. Let's go with, All right, if this shakes a little bit, I apologize. Gotta reach across this thing. V01, what are you? V12, okay, let's see. So we got V01 and V12. These are kind of my go-to shadow colors anymore. They're a little softer. They're not going to turn things brown. You'll see in a second. So I try to avoid using the super light colors anymore. So this is V01, and it will tone down some of the orange bits. Why? Because color theory, yay. Okay. I am gonna have to grab a lighter one though. Okay. Oh. Not sure if that'll show up. That's how you know your nib is starting to go bad. It changes a different color. Oh yeah, you're dry as a fart. All right, hold on guys. Let me see. Hi, Goober. What are you doing? Did you eat everybody else's treats? Did you? Yeah, good girl. I gotta take, oh no. All right, so we get to try the new Copic refills, which, okay, I'm gonna whine for a second. These are the new Copic refills. They did them to make them easier to refill, right? Right. You see how much is in there? This is the old one. You see the difference here? Do you see how much ink? Same price. Could you be a bit more specific? Like what would you like to know about character drawing? Like what might help you here? Where did my Pepsi go? Hold on one second. Watch out, Beavers. Watch out. Watch my butt. Watch out, BB. Okay, don't be a shit. You are being a shit. Make better choices. Okay, I'm back. I need caffeine. All right. So I got this, and let's see how much of a disaster this is. What the hell? Okay. Well then. Oh, this is stupid. No. Keep away from... Don't smoke near this. No shit. Oh. No duh. Sorry. Well, you just described exactly what to do with it. If you're thinking you're overdrawing it, you probably are. The only person I know that can get away with overdrawing hair is Michael Turner. And he set the precedent for that. So anybody else, it's probably not a good idea to do that. I'm just waiting for this to refill. But yeah, if you block it in, I'll do a drawing session on one of these nights so that people can get an idea. But yes, I do the block in with hair. It just makes it easier. And then I just kind of carve out little shapes here and there that I want to do. And then I tend to erase all of it and start over again because I am kind of obsessive when it comes to getting hair done correctly. um, so it's going to also depend on the texture of hair. What a lot of people forget is that even if it's bouncy, hair still has gravity to it. So you need to kind of take that into consideration. Wow, this thing does not want to refill. Um, but yeah, just block it out. That's I had to learn that again when while I've been painting. I can't show any of these paintings over here, unfortunately, but I had to relearn that when I started painting more with oil paints. Because when you go through and you render each individual strand of hair with paint, like you would with ink, it becomes a total mess. Hi, Danny. Thank you for popping over. But yeah, I look at some of my older artwork, you'll see that I did the same thing. I just over rendered the crap out of it. I used to get compliments on it all the time, and it's just like, now I look at it and kind of cringe. But this right here is about as detailed as I get with drawing hair anymore. Okay, this marker just does not want to come back to life. I love this. Oh, oh, oh! There we go. All right. That's the fur follows the same mentality as the hair, as we were just discussing. Don't just keep it simple, stupid, basically. Like, do your best. The fewer lines that you need for it, typically the better. The one, let me think. The person I can recommend the most to look at in regards to hair anymore is go back, crack open a book from Alphonse Mucha, Art Nouveau dude, and just kind of study how he approached it, because it was detailed and elegant at the same time. Now, the problem is he never drew different types of hair. Like, he'd draw braids and styles of hair, but nothing, it was always, to my knowledge, it's always straight hair. So if you want to draw any sort of different ethnicity, like different hair types, different curl types, different anything like that, one of the best spots you can do is fall into Black Twitter or Black Instagram hairstyles. Like, follow the hairdressers, look at how they approach the hair, and you start absorbing that knowledge with how you render it. So my feed and algorithm is incredible with all these just straight up artists, and like, they sculpt with the hair, and it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, basically break out of what you would typically think to go to and look at different. I learned a lot more about painting, especially painting faces and coloring faces, when I was watching a lot of makeup tutorials, for example. Like, it's just same concepts, different medium. And it's neat how a lot of them cross over in terms of skill sets. Sorry, I have a dog doing something in the background, and I don't know what it is, but it does not sound good. Gracie. Yeah, I knew it was you. Boxers. God bless them. Hey, Van. No, I definitely don't do this very often. This is my first time in years doing this. Hi, Shani, how are you? Digital versus traditional art as it pertains to the comic industry. Yes, I do see it becoming more and more scarce because of the fact, I don't want to go negative on the very first stream here. So I'm going to try to keep it a little bit upbeat and just keep it strictly facts on that side. When you work in traditional art, especially nowadays, the deadlines for a lot of these things are really, really limited. And while your editors, my editors, I have an incredible group of editors. I'm just being very honest about that. Every single editor that I'm working with at the moment, I absolutely adore. So this isn't any disparagement on them. But over the past decade, 2 decades, I got pine sap on my hands. Lovely. Um, Over the past decade, 2 decades, you guys can probably tell as well, the interior art for most comics has become a lot more detailed, especially when it comes to character design, costume design, things like that. They've just become kind of ridiculous, right? And that's cool, except the deadlines haven't changed for the most part. Like, you still have the same 4 to 6 weeks to get that book drawn as you did 15, 20 years ago with much more simplistic costumes. And you're on a time crunch with it. You're on in when you're doing that, I'm trying to just think of how to phrase this without getting in trouble. When you're doing that, the pay rate has stagnated a lot for comics. I just got my first raise from one company since 2016, and I had to ask directly for them, and they were very, very gracious about giving it to me. But that gives you an idea. I'm still working, paying 2025 bills with 2016 wages. So if you wonder why I'm stressed, there it is. Um, that being said, with the traditional art, you're on a tighter time crunch. You have higher workloads, and there aren't the sales for those pages unless they're big, pretty pages. So it's just far more economical because the cost of paper has gone up, the cost of supplies has gone up across the board. It's far more economical just to do it digitally at this point. You could sit on your couch petting a dog and just be done with it and get it out of the way and move on to the next thing. And that's sadly how a lot of it is. I know a bunch of people go through and they'll take like particular pages out of a book that might sell, and they'll do those traditionally, especially like for pinups and stuff like that. I don't really have that option because I don't do a ton of interiors, and the interiors I've done recently are not things that would really sell. So I just do my stuff digitally now. Yeah, yeah. More with less. And it's like it's just the nature of the beast with it. So you gotta like plan out accordingly. The other side of it is I don't know if you know how big a comic book page is, but after a certain bit, they take up a lot of space. I have 15 flat files in here. That doesn't even come close to storing all my artwork. And I have not done traditional pages in probably 5 or 6 years. I've done a couple stories here and there, and I try to do a lot of covers traditionally when I can. But pages, they take up so much space. And it's just the trying to store those damn things after a little bit and store them effectively so they don't get damaged or anything. It's just, there's a cost analysis of it, and it's not in the favor of doing things traditionally anymore. Yes, I don't like to shortcut that stuff digitally. I think it looks fake. Hold on again. Gracie, get in here. Stop being a tool. None of these guys, I think maybe Blue has been around for a live stream. So none of these guys know how to behave right now. So this is a learning curve for us all. But yes, a lot of that stuff you could shortcut digitally. Like I'll go through and I'll shortcut like trees, especially. I'll have like brushes so I don't have to sit there and draw every damn leaf or anything like that. Every brick and freaking Glasgow was my joke when I was working on Red Thorn, because I'd sit there and I would draw every damn brick in Glasgow. So there are some definite benefits to working digitally at this point. The other benefit is because there's a lot more, or rather, there are a lot more cooks in the kitchen now and a lot more approval processes that you have to do. So if you have to go back through and make changes, it's so much easier to do that digitally than it is traditionally. Traditionally involves a lot of whiteout or just redrawing the page at certain or page or panels and cut-ins and everything like that. Digitally, you just redraw it. Okay. Gracie, over here, or you're going to go to bed. Get over here and lay down. Thank you. Get to hear mom voice tonight. Making people cringe. Yay. Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, I'm surprising lots of folks because I haven't posted on this thing in a while, and I still had like 250 subscribers to it. So I think everybody probably got blasted with with the note that I went live, and it's like, oh, well, thank you, YouTube. People probably forgot that I exist, so that's cool. Let's just give everybody a reminder. There goes. All right. And now the question is, do we do the blue lips or we do pink lips? Let's see, I'll get a little bit more depth too. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do this more often. Obviously, a little bit of kinks that I gotta work out over here first with specifically with dogs. But the hope is that I can get going on this a little bit more. Oof, there it goes. All right. I do. That is exactly what I'm working with right now. Except now it's mostly oil paints, and I put the markers back up so I can do stuff like this. But as I have been realizing over the past week and a half, as I've been trying to figure out where on earth I can move this whole setup into the house, this drawing table is 6 feet wide. It's very difficult to place in a home that is from the late 70s that has been cut up like a damn, this house is very small, or not small. The house is not small. The rooms are really stupidly laid out. So I'm trying to figure out where the hell I'm going to put all this crap so I don't melt in this garage over the summer. I'm going to leave the lips to last, I think, and we'll kind of take it from there. And let me see, that color that I just grabbed, you can see me doing my test swatches down here. That color was not appropriate. So I got to actually get up so I don't knock into the camera, phone, camera, whatever the hell it is. And let's go with you. Okay, and fuck, we'll take, oh, that's a word I can't use. This is fun. I'm gonna have to rename the channel to Censored and Explos or Caffeine and Censored. Oh, it's Squirrel Girl. I haven't drawn her in ages. God, actually, I think it's been over a decade. No. I had one here, part of a set, and I remember I did her very pink. You know what? Let's glam her up a little bit. Go with you. There we go. So this is E71. This is my go-to for like super, super deep shadows. And also makeup. That's not. And a little bit more of this over here. Oh, for Squirrel Girl, Has she had a costume change at all yet? I'm gonna sit here and talk crap for a second, but the Emma Frost design from Marvel Rivals, in my opinion, is not Emma Frost. Like, I don't know who that is, but it ain't Emma. And I think at this point in my life, I have drawn her enough officially to have an opinion on that. For Emma, the skimpy costume, my favorite Emma costume is actually her Gen X costume. Which surprises a lot of people, but I love the pantsuit combo for her. Did I not grab... Okay, we're just going to use this. Yeah, it might be nostalgia for me on that one, because that was my era of really being into comics and collecting the books and things like that. So mid to late 90s. But I really like that costume for her. Let's see, where is... Here he is. As I said, I use 1,000 different colors for these things. So this is R21 Sardonyx, and this is my go-to for... I'm not going to say blush, I'm going to say flush with an F. So, like the no makeup look. And then blendy, blendy, blendy. Because otherwise that's going to have a hard line there. It's just, like I said, Emma to me needs to be long, lean, kind of like just a jungle cat, essentially. Like, obviously she has her assets, but the huge hips on her, and that's a little too much. And I know they're trying to make it like the waifu look, but it's still just like, not my cup of tea. It works with some characters, not with all. Emma is one, in my opinion, that it does not work with. But that's me being opinionated. Yes, yeah, Gen X. I mean, Bacalo was, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was a massive, massive influence on my art when I was just learning. I still adore his artwork. His graphic design sense is impeccable. And that's something that to this day I still struggle with. So I crack out a lot of his work just for inspiration. All right, you damn thing, dry. Well, the nice thing about this stock is that it's pretty forgiving. You can go back through and blend things out. Now, I'm sure I probably should have shoved a piece of paper underneath this, because I'm sure this is going to be a hot mess when I move the cover over and check it in a little bit. I have not seen that card, so I'll have to look that one up. Okay, we're going to... Yeah, you know what? This might actually get done tonight. I was expecting the skin especially to take a lot longer than it did, but we'll see. Okay, let's go with blue. All right. Let's get her eyes done first. I'll get the dark. And there's that. Do. Let me get the shadow in her eyes real quick. Henna, come on. I have worn these dogs out today, or so I thought, because they are proving me wrong right now. I've got the older 3 in here, and they are now passed out. But the puppy is still being a punk, as puppies will. This looks like I'm blacking her eyes out, but it'll make sense in a minute. The Aries, that was, I wanted to do a tarot set, and that was my, not tarot set, a zodiac set. And I wanted to go through and do things that kind of matched the vibe of the sign and gets all of that in there, just having fun with it for a little bit. She is the only one that I have gotten done, and I would work on the other ones, but there just hasn't been enough interest in it at the moment, so I might revisit it shortly. But there really wasn't any backstory on her aside from matching the idea of Aries and getting the visual elements of the astrological sign in there, and then just drawing something that I wanted to draw myself. That cannot be overstated. I haven't drawn anything for myself in years, aside from quick little doodles and quick little sketches. I just wanted something for me. So she was fun to do. I wish I had something more profound to share with that, but sadly I do not. She just seemed fun to draw, like drawing a D&D character, basically. These are E70 and E71, and even though she's blonde, I tend to give her like ashy brown eyebrows. Thank you. I have them planned out, or rather, like mocked up. It's just I had, I think, like 3 or 4 people, so you're one of them, that got that print, and it's just like, well, that it was a pretty large time investment on that, and as fun as she was, I have to balance it, right? Where it's just like, I'm going to draw something on my own at this point. I've got to make it profitable in some way, and I hate that fact, but that is part and parcel of being a working artist at this point. So if you can see on here, I did her eyes a little darker and her lips a little darker, because what I'm going to do is come back through with a little bit of gouache, or gouache might be too fragile on this, either gouache or colored pencil, just to kind of pull things forward a little bit. I'm really enjoying the depth a lot of this gets with the mixed media, multimedia approach lately, and it's just something I've kind of fallen into. It really makes things kind of pop a little bit more. And again, I wish I could share some of this stuff, but I can't. So I'm also waiting for everything on here to dry for a second. So feel free to ask more questions. I'm going to dig through my box real quick and see if I have anything I can share that describes that. Hold on one second. Hi, guys. How your nubs going, Bubba? Your nub is being a Bubba's. Where the hell did I put these things? Not there, not there. What the hell? Huh. I don't know where they're at. Do you guys want art show and tell? Because I can do art show and tell later. Let me get back. Yeah, she's dry. So if you want that, I can pull out some of the pieces that I did for Marvel Snap that have been shown. which aren't many, but they're enough. So let me see. I forgot I moved all of my covers into the house with all these damn tornado threats and everything that we've been having. I moved everything in a little secure bin into the house. Because if anything ever happens here, that's about the only security I have are stupid covers. All right, let me get some of this done through here real quick. All right, we got that. That's gonna be too dark. So what I'm gonna do now is work on her corset and get, that is way too light. I think you see me do 10,000 different little swatches down here at the bottom. And the 60, we'll use you. Click, 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 click. Oh, there we are. I'll have to pan the camera over after we're done with all of this. That way you guys can see the ridiculous amount of markers I have over here at the moment. All right. Scooch, scooch, scooch. All right. So we got these going here, and white, I render white. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I always give white a little bit of shimmer. So, and I do that by kind of plotting out the ambient colors in the background. I'll do like a soft blue crystal effect through here, like a prismatic effect, which means that the white will have a bit of a prismatic effect as well. But you don't, to make it look realistic, you don't use just one color. You use a whole bunch of colors. And that's what gives it the more realistic look to it. Don't you, you're dying on me too. Lovely. Okay, hold on. B60, do I have a refill? Oh, don't do this. Do I not have a refill for this? I do not have a refill for this. That is lovely. Okay. Well, shit. Fuck. Oh, I do. Okay. Got one. Yay. All right. This is the annoying part about working with Copics to me. Is paint, I'd already have this colored. Marker, I gotta sit here and be like, oh, that marker's too dry. Let me refill it. Watercolor, done. This thing would be done. Nope. It's what it is, though. Nature of the beast, and people love these things, so. No, it's a one-off payment. Yeah, no, it's a one-off payment. Let me think. The payment wasn't terrible for what the initial batch was. I have done 6 oil paintings for Marvel Snap, and they were really, really cool to work with. But the... Oh, God, I'm going to sound like a brat. The release schedule of these things is worse than working with Upper Deck. So I can't show any of this work until it's been released. Well, I've got paintings here that have been sitting here for over a year now that I can't show anybody or anything. And a couple of these paintings are, I would be able to get work, like high-end work, if I was able to show these things, but I can't. So I'm kind of just stuck with them. So in hope, I've just got to hope that they release these things so that I can sell the original artwork for it. So I did 6 oil paintings and 12 of the watercolor mixed media stuff. And only, I think, 4 have been released at this point. It's tough. Gracie, enough with this, okay? Sweetheart, Oh, thank you. Sorry, guys. I gotta bounce between being art and mom, and this right there is the primary reason why I have not done streams in a long time. So, just gonna come with the territory at this point. But yeah, it's a one-off payment. It is a better payment than my cover rate was for all of my different companies that I work for. But the trade-off is just not knowing when this stuff is going to come out. Right. So they'll be on the site, or they'll be on a like a data hacker site to, previews. Data mining. There it is. That's the word I'm looking for. Boy, my brain has gone out the window today. Goober, please. It's you. It's you tonight. You got to be the gremlin, don't you? Oh, she's coming on camera. Okay, make way for the bear. Come here. Come on. Do you want to say hi? Here. Come over here. Can you see? Let's see. There. Hi. Look at you. Look at you. Yes. Why you gotta be a punk? Why you gotta be a punk? Yeah. Here. Okay. We good? I don't need the paw. But thank you. Thank you. Okay. You got your butt bongo. Got your butt bongos? Okay. Go on. Out. Out. There we go. Okay. So Gracie normally lays right down here. So I think she's a little upset about the fact that I have booted her ass out tonight. No fighting. We're not fighting out here. You want to fight? You go in the house. Okay? And now she's upside down. And the other girls went in the house to fight. Oh, don't do this, guys. This is a lot of dogs. Don't be dumb. Be smarter than me. Okay. So I moved the camera down a little bit so you could see the tester zone, because I test everything before it goes back on here. So is Snap basically kind of like a Magic the Gathering gotcha game? I haven't played it. Yeah, Mike, we might be tied on that front. Okay, thank you, because I wasn't quite sure. I love the artwork for Magic, but I've never had the chance to play it with anybody, so I just look at the artwork, so I don't really understand a lot of that stuff. I'm also terrible at card games, which is why you'll never see me play poker. Great at phase 10, but I don't think that counts. But yeah, couldn't quite figure out what it was that people were playing, but glad I guesstimated right. So I'm going to start going through. And I bounce around a lot with doing this stuff. And the reason for that is because it just it lets my eye see where I want things to go as I'm working on it. And I will get distracted because I have too many pets. And I will forget about it. So, doing my best. BV, where did you go? I just filled you up. Where did you go? There it is. Okay. Yeah, see, I have 4 boxers. So 1 male, 3 females. All of them are intact. And I have 4 cats on top of that. 2 are ones that I willingly took in. And then the other two were bonus ones that I got suckered into. So, and they just stayed because I'm in Georgia, and one of them is a special needs cat, and she was bonded with her brother. So I got suckered. Thank you for coming in, Jacob. Thank you. Goober. Thank you. There's got to be one. Always got to be one. That's a problem child. And that is my Gracie. She's a good girl, though. She's a very good girl. And that'll be a soundbite someplace one day if I ever get past 1,000 subscribers. Yes, AMRAP is still here. He was singing a little bit ago. I'm not sure if you were popped on when he was walking through singing. I'm actually not sure if you guys heard that. He does his toy delivery when he doesn't know where I'm at, and that's what he was doing, was delivering toys and singing about his delivery song. Yeah, AMRAP and Susie are the two. Well, you know what? No, AMRAP doesn't even count because AMRAP was supposed to go to a different home as well, and that didn't work out because Lucy claimed him, and then he just stayed. Yes, yes. Puppies are cool for about 3 weeks, and then you realize that you have a puppy. So I've had 2025 is my first year without a puppy, and since 2020. And I mean that in the literal sense in terms of bringing a puppy into the house. So almost had one between Blue and Gracie, but that sadly did not work out the best. But yeah, don't do it. Be smarter, make better decisions than I have. Why did I do all of this lacing? Because now I gotta color all of this lacing. Ugh, me and my terrible time management skills. I lie. I'm actually usually pretty good with it, but then I get cocky. All right, shadow. That will go thereabouts-ish. Okay. Shadow from you. There. And I did not want that in her hair, so where's my blender? There it is. First year so far. Yes, yes. I mean, you know, if I end up actually having something between Blue and Gracie, there's going to have to be one that's kept, but that jury is still out as to whether I'll let them try again or not. But, okay. Am I missing anything here, guys? Yes, I am. There. I wish I could zoom in on this. I actually kind of like it. Rare mark, I'm guessing is how you pronounce it. But I noticed it was clever. It's the remark with RA in front of it. So that's not a plug or anything like that. It's like, oh, that's cute. It looks clean. It looks good. Nerdcrawler was fun. The name was fun, but I understand different connotations and everything with it. They want to delineate, or rather deviate from that and sound more professional, which is fine. Oh, we got another singing cat walking through. If you hear a high-pitched balloon sounding noise, that is Jaeger. He is my feline problem child. He's the one that rips the curtains out of the walls. Him and Kenny. Sorry, I'm leaning back and looking at this and making sure I covered my ears. Is that showing up as white? Yes. Okay. Yay. I win. Okay. So I'd like to go through and basically get all of the same textures done at the same time. So that way everything's kind of fresh in my head as to how I'm doing it and I don't get like janky approaches going through, or janky rendering differences going through. Why? Because it looks janky. That is my word for tonight. Boob shadow. There. And there for hips. Neighbor has left their dog outside again. Gracie, don't you start. Don't. Other creatures are not allowed to exist while my girls are within earshot. So this is a little darker because light will be coming basically this way. More like this way, down through. So hips are tilted back, therefore darker through here. Okay, let's get these legs done. Boots, rather. Those legs look obscenely long on here. They are actually in proportion. I'll have to pull everything back so that way you guys can see these without the warping effect on here. So I'm like, holy crap, that looks terrible. Dude, I want these boots. Like, I designed them for this. I'm sure they exist somewhere on this planet. But I want these boots. I don't have the legs that look like this to be able to wear them and pull them off properly. But, I mean, these boots are nice. Oh, that's right. A little dip right there. Okay, so when doing long areas like this, or larger areas like this, I'd like to try to break it up as much as possible. Hi, Goober. Go ahead. Come under. Go ahead. Okay, you stay right there. Sit. I see your butt wagging. I see it. And then you can cheat when it's white and blur it out. Gracie, make up your mind. You have 3 brain cells. Yeah. Are they all fighting? Are they all fighting? You cannot do both things. You are not Schrodinger's dog right now. Come on. You cannot be both. Come on. Do we need a puppy cam in here? Like, so that way you guys can see what fools are being fools behind me? Gracie, this is not the Derby. Okay, back that shit up. Thank you. I always say she has 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place, but I think right now she's just like rebooting. Like she just, she has a nub of a tail and she's trying to chase it right now. She's an idiot. I love her. Okay, so same concept as before, going back, therefore more in shadow. This is where Noeg anatomy comes in quite handy. Oh, God. I love living in a neighborhood. There's a hunting pack of beagles. And that is what the noise is right now. And my dogs are answering in kind. We have also been having huge packs of coyotes coming through. So, they're doing a ton of development around here right now. So everything that was basically pristine farmland is now getting turned into apartments and townhomes and is displacing everything. So my neighborhood is in a watershed area. So it's protected forestry through here. And I actually have a couple of old growth pines on my property. But just to give you an idea, that's why we're getting so much transplanted wildlife back here right now, because they're looking for untouched areas. Well, right behind my house, which is neat until you have to pay to have some trees taken down. And then you get a $15,000 bill. You're like, well, how would you like me to pay for that? So that is why I am trying to get this stuff going again. There's a method to my madness here. Let's see. All right. And this is where my brain's just trying to calculate shadows and fall light and reflections and all that fun crap. So, while also trying to make sure the marker isn't dying in the process. So I got asked a long time ago as to why I have both the sketch markers and the original markers. And the reason for that is because a lot of times you'll need a broader nib for the wide areas. And I really, truly wish they still made these suckers. I got a couple empties that I am going to refill with some ink to use, but man, I started using those on a whim for a couple projects not too long ago. And I'm like, wow, of course I fall in love with these after they're discontinued. That is the story of my life on that front. Okay, so as you can see, getting all that done, I'm going to let those dry. And then we're going to bounce up to here so I don't forget this glove. Nope. That. And I forgot to ink that. Oh, look at that. Oh, well, we'll figure it out. Oh, shit. It might help if I actually turn the camera back to where I'm working, huh? There it goes. So if I would do long form videos, is there anything you guys would want to know? Or should I do them with painting, combination of both? I'd say studio tours, but that would be really, really short. That's just a garage with a whole bunch of crap in here. Ideas. If anybody has them, what would you like to see? Feel free to let me know. And I can't even tell how many people are in here anymore, but okay, that's that. 31. Nice. Well, that's more than I expected. Thank you for telling me that. So there will definitely be painting. It'll be the oil painting stuff since I can do that upright. The watercolor, I just don't have the rig for it to do the watercolors. And also just, I mean, it's tough for me to record watercolors because I have to work on them a little differently. I had to make adjustments so that I don't kill my back. So almost everything I do has to be vertically. And then watercolor is just really difficult to work on vertically. So I have to like move everything all over the place. And it just makes things janky for recording, as I've been discovering because I've been attempting to record the other Emma Frost pieces I've been working on, and I just kind of gave up last night when I started working on the background. Oh, cool. What are you guys doing? Get out of there. When you hear a loud thunk, and then you hear the scramble of 4 dogs running away from the thunk, and then you hear 2 dogs place themselves into their crates on their own volition, I'm not going to look at that right now. I know something happened. I just don't know what. Blessed. We are also up to 82 degrees in here. This is very toasty. Okay, so what I'm probably going to do tonight, what time is it? 10:15. I'll run this to 11, which means I'll probably get Emma herself done. And then I'll just do the background and everything off camera. That way it's done. Nobody wants to see me doing that crap because that's going to be all over the place and blocking most of everything. So I'll get the primary figure of Emma done. And then I will figure out something else to do next time. I'll try to do these. I would love to do them weekly. I just don't know that I'm going to be able to do them weekly. I'll try to do them bi-weekly if I could figure something out to work on for the next one. So if anybody has any ideas, again, feel free to let me know. Because I could probably draw something on camera. No pressure. How did I do this? That shadow doesn't match. Okay, well, let's make it match. Okay. That'll come there, that'll come there. Okay. Yes, she does great ones with that. And I have a bunch of time-lapse ones as well that I'm going to be posting up. It just makes things a lot easier. There's also like the different like cut editing and everything like that I can do, which is what I've been doing with the other pieces. So that way I have fodder. Excuse me, I have content. Yay, look at me using the appropriate words. But I figure I'll go through, I'll do the short stuff on Instagram, and then I'll have a proper video for like Patreon subscribers and things like that. And then eventually, once I figure out lighting rig and setup and everything in here, I'll do the long form videos. Because I do have the camera, I do have the lens, I think. And I'll get that stuff going. Which is why I came onto YouTube for it. Because I can just cross that stuff right over to Patreon as well. Oh my God, these dogs are being heathens. This has been an adjustment for them too. So give them a little bit of grace. Or in Gracie's case, a lot of bit of grace. What are you guys doing? Gracie? What does he have? Oh, Blue. Well, I guess she stole yours. So here, figure it out. Go ahead, Blooper. You got it back? You got it? Okay. Here, Blooper, you got yours? Go ahead. I gave them licky mats to try and keep them occupied. And by the time I got done setting up my camera, they were already done. So I will need a better idea next time. I think frozen Kongs or topples will be in play for the next round. All right, this is where it's going to get tricky. Let's see. because I think I want to make this kind of satiny or silky, probably closer to satin. So there's going to be lots of different reflections and everything coming through on the cape, cloak cape. And this is where doing fabric studies comes in very handy. The person who draws the best capes in the business is Mark Brooks. Dude knows his fabric. Can you guys hear the dogs licking their licky mats on camera? Like, if you can, is that annoying? I don't know if it's picking up or not on them. This is an awkward angle. And I am not sure if this will be able to be shared publicly afterwards due to these. I think it might be pushing the limits of appropriate content. I'm not sure though. But I'll at least share the link and post it in the Patreon and the Discord, or rather on Patreon and in my Discord group. Okay, good. That I love all my pets, obviously, but the licking noise, it just triggers something in me. I actually have, what is it, misophonia, the gene for it. So, like, no wonder that explains a whole lot about me. Okay, this marker's about to die again. Whew, it is toasty. Oh shit. Okay, I am going to work up until here because the rest of this will have to be done while it's flat, because otherwise there's going to be the tape line. So we are going to get a little tricky. I'm just going to kind of blend it out into the background. Thank you. You're all good. Don't worry about it. Like I said, I'm going to try and share it. I just don't know if it's going to... Oh, held for review. Yes, there it goes. It's just... I can't turn that sound off in my head. Like, I hear it. They wake me up at night sometimes licking. And it's just like, I can't do it. I know it comes with the territory, but there are some noises. So the funny thing is, with that Marvel Matriarchs card, the actual painting for it, Emma's in her classic costume. I had to do a last minute 2 a.m. edit for that thing because it kept coming back that I made her too sexy. I made her too sexy, and it kept getting declined for being too sexy. Now, the brief for that piece was for Emma in her classic costume, and it ended up being like, nope. And they had, this is the whiny side, not the whiny side, but the fun side of freelancing and illustrating. The card mock-up had been approved, had gone through all the licensing approval, had gone through everything, and it was like the last thing that had to happen, and they went, nope. And it's like, guys, you have had all of this for literally 6 months. 6 months of stages for this. And Yeah, you approved it every step along the way, but now when it is pretty much varnished, you want me to make all the changes. So I had to go through and do all those changes digitally, which I'm happy with how it ended up coming out. I do think I messed up her face a bit because I had to change so much, but um, I know better now with how to approach a lot of that. So that set was done in 2022. No, 2023 for it. And I've learned quite a bit in how to handle paint since then. But yeah, so the actual art for that card is completely different in terms of costume than what ended up being published. There were 4 different takes I did on that to try and get it approved, and the last one where she's covered head to toe is the one that they approved. So this is my trick for doing fur. Blop it out and then blur it out. Are you dry? You are. Okay, let me go refill this as well. Goober, have you died? Are you? You're upside down. You're being a bug. Okay. I think because I have a very specific way I like to draw Emma, her face didn't quite come out the way that I had in mind. Initially, the sketch for it did, but I didn't know how to paint. I am self-taught through and through. I was basically figuring it out on the fly. Okay, I'm refilling my blender really quick. Okay. I'm making a mess. So now I gotta clean everything off. Thankfully it's not colored. Holy crap. That's expensive for a card. It's always funny to me as to how much the cards end up going. And I understand the collector mentality somewhat. I don't quite get it because I've never had the disposable income to really be a collector. But it shocks me how much some of that stuff costs when you can go through and actually commission an artist for a whole ass painting for like half of that. But it's what makes the industry and keeps it afloat. So I have no hate or anything like that for it. I'm like, I think I'd rather have the painting. But that's me. All right. But it's a lot easier to store the cards though. So there's that aspect of it. I'm actually still waiting on my comps to come in for the matriarch stuff. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get them or not with all the changeover with Upper Deck after they lost the Marvel license. Now, when the people post the cards for that price, like I'm out of the loop completely on that aspect of collecting. When people post the cards like that, do they actually expect them to sell, or is it more just like a bragging thing? Like, yep, I got, let me turn that. Like, yeah, I got this, you can have it, but you're going to pay 10 grand for it. Like, it just kind of seems a little rude. just a smidge. was I using? This one. I guess all it takes is one person to buy it and then other people will hop on it, but that's still just kind of nuts to me. All right, where is my BV? Oh, I'm using it. All right, I need a different one. I need a darker one. BV 23, and we're just going to use this very, very, very sparingly. There we go. And you see how that smooshed it right out? That works nice. It has been so long since I used these things for a full piece that I wasn't sure that I was going to actually remember how the hell to use them. But I guess it's like the proverbial bike or something. Although I do think at, you know, going on 42, that I have forgotten how to ride a bike at this point in my life. So. To be fair, Gabrielle D'Otto is incredible. Oh, jeez. See that? Yeah. If y'all only knew. I guess just because I never have been able to really participate in anything like that, that I understand it, but only up to a certain point. There's always going to be a huge gap for me with understanding the collector mentality with it. I don't, again, not disparaging anybody at all. This is strictly on me and my lack of ability to understand it. So I always like hearing from people trying to explain in terms I can understand their mindset when they get into this stuff. I mean, I kind of get it because I get hooked on, like, if I'm playing a game, I've got to have the full set. I've got to have the full 100% on it, which is why stuff like Genshin Impact is a very, very dangerous proposition for me, as I have found out. I had a habit for a little bit, and then I stopped. So you can see I overfilled my blender, so it is very, very sloppy at the moment, which I like because it soaks in and oversaturates everything, which means that all of this, if the paper can handle it, it's not something you can do all the time, but if the paper can handle it, it is essentially the same concept as working wet on wet with watercolor at that point. But the paper has to be able to handle it. Thankfully, this is not bad. Like, there's spots for it, but after it dries, it really redeems itself. So kudos to Marvel for whomever was in charge of picking out this cover stock for the sketch covers, because it's pretty solid for this. I don't think it would hold up to watercolor or anything like that, but for marker, pretty dang good. All right. But I do love the people that I have met through the collector community. So I've met some really, really, really good folks through it, and I'm very thankful for them. even if I don't get it. It's funny. I think a lot of people don't realize is that that's how art has typically been made throughout the centuries, is through patronage. I mean, most artists have never been able, unless they're independently wealthy, which is not really common with artists. They needed a patron. They needed one person, whether it was the Vatican or, well, obviously the Pope or the Medicis or anything like that. But yeah, being a patron of the arts isn't just a phrase, it was an actual thing. And I mean, obviously, we are not in a society that can really support that much anymore, but it would be neat. It would be neat. And I do have a couple friends that have kind of taken up that role with me a bit, and I appreciate them more than I think they probably realize. Oh, paper's starting to squeak, which means it's probably a good time to move on a little bit. You're welcome, Alex. Thank you for stopping in. The dogs are finally asleep. Right as I'm starting to wind down too. I think I should be right on target with saying that I'll have the figure done for tonight. We got that. Oh shit, I do have that going up on, okay. I lost track of my own artwork there. Okay, so since I darkened that through there, now just taking it through and darkening the rest of it. And then also we will do shadow for her head there and shadow for the crop. The paper here, this is alcohol. It's alcohol markers. The paper is wet. So if you hear that noise, that is, I have as was mentioned earlier, I have a gigantic drafting table. It's an antique drafting table from the 1930s. And to make it work for me, I have a table easel that I mounted onto this thing with chains. Or rather hung it on here with chains. So that is the slack that you're hearing whenever I kind of push into the page a little bit and release. So apologies if that gets annoying. I cannot help that. That's just what I need to do for my setup here. Let's see. We can put it. Yes. Yeah. As if it were that easy. Yeah. Like that would make things a lot easier. Yeah. Same concept here. Oh, you can sell your soul and then you just kind of work for it. Like I said, I've looked out and by and large, like my current group of editors is absolutely incredible. And I've only really had one editor that I didn't really mesh too well with. And that was just conflict of personality with that. But you can sell yourself to the corporations basically, but you kind of need that anymore to be able to develop a name. When I was getting into it, like 2013, people were still trying the traditional route of getting into this. Now that's a completely different setup. So I first started doing comic stuff in 2013, like real comic stuff in 2013. I did the sketch cards and stuff before then, but that was when the big stuff came in. Well, thank you for saying that this is gorgeous. It's actually, um, that answer is tied with that statement. The paper quality is pretty good. So it's actually, when you work on it, it blotches up a little bit, like it becomes a little transparent while you're working on it. But after it dries, obviously everything becomes opaque again, or translucent, not transparent. It becomes opaque again, and then the paper is actually really nice. This area is still damp, so I think I oversaturated that a little bit too much. But other than that, it's pretty good. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do any more rendering than this, and it will not take watercolor or anything like that. I can guarantee you that, especially with feeling how it buckled a little bit with just alcohol. But the rest of it's pretty solid. Like, good for markers, good for inks. Was terrible for pencil. Absolutely terrible. Like, you can see all the blue line and everything still under here. It does not erase for pencil. So do your sketch separately on a different piece of paper and transfer it, because you cannot overwork it. You can see I've got all the graphite lines and everything through here. Well, let's see. Can you see that? That line right through there. And the boots all through here. Does not erase. It's a soft paper. I'm trying to not let that rattle too badly, guys. Okay, how did I do this here? I drew these fabric folds, and I don't remember how I planned out the lighting for them. We'll go with that. There. I'll have to get some YouTube-friendly music to play for the next time. This is me thinking while drawing right here and hoping I don't mess things up. Oh, that might help. So you see how it blurs out a lot easier in the fresher spots before it has a chance to dry. It's actually a trick you can use if you want to keep some harder lines, but still soften them a little bit. This is not a commission. This will be going on, I think it's a rare mark, but it was what Nerdcrawler just turned into. So Nerdcrawler rebranded itself, so it'll be going up on that. And the reason for that is because I don't know what my pricing is anymore. I don't have any clue what to set things at this point in my life, because it's been so long since I've had artwork available to the general public. I've had collectors and such reach out to me behind the scenes and buy things, but I don't know kind of really what or if there's demand for my work anymore. So this will go up on there and just kind of set a precedent for it. Thank you for stopping in. There will definitely be another one. I'm not sure when, maybe 2 weeks, if I can figure out what the heck I want to do on it. I also got to check and see what my schedule's like with production work. And get that done. I got a couple covers I got to get done this month as well. But I wanted to take the time to make some headway on these things and kind of get myself set back up, because it's looking to be a couple of very, very lean months ahead. Let's see. Where do I want to go over here? I'm sorry, guys. I'm starting to fade a little bit. Like I'm getting beat. So you know what? I'm going to call it here for drawing this at the moment. But what I'm going to do, so here, remember how I said it wasn't, she wasn't deformed. Don't mind the shaky cam. Oh, God, hold on. Let me get my phone out of there. There we go. So, let's see, right there. That. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab those pieces and then do a little bit of art show and tell for y'all. So let me get this set back up in here. Oh, I'm not done yet. I said I'll stay till 11, so I'm gonna go do show and tell. So give me 1 minute, because I gotta go get the box of goodies. Let me see, hold on. Oh, your Poison Ivy piece is next. So Wonder Woman is flattening out. Okay, do you guys want a quick studio tour? So let me do this real quick. Yes, it'll be under my name. So, okay, so we've got the drawing area. As you can see, this is my garage. This is literally a garage, but it works. So here are my pets, my dogs. We got Gila over there. Oh, I can zoom in. Awesome. Okay, so that's been in progress. There's a Judge Anderson under there. This is the wall of paint. They're here. And then here, here's your Wonder Woman. It's currently being smushed out. Oh, actually, I can check and see if that's done yet. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to put the phone down. Lift that up. Okay, so this is my tip for working in watercolors. Because the paper buckles all the time, I wet the paper on the back, get a couple pieces of clean white printer paper, and smush it in between. So there's the Wonder Woman. She's not done yet. I still have to put the gouache on, do a little bit more paint there, and then a little bit of colored pencil, probably a little bit of pastel as well. So there's that. Let me get her, put her right there. And I have so many Emmas. You can hear the paper sticking. And there's one Emma right there. So this is the mixed media technique that I've been talking about all night. This is watercolor base, Copic for some saturation and to make things a little smoother. And then now that she's flat, I'll go back through, pull out some of the white in the flowers with gouache and gouache and colored pencil. So that's that one there. Get this out of the way. And then And the other Emma, right there. So again, same thing, watercolor base, and then marker just to pull out some skin tones. I can do skin tones in watercolor, but for stuff like this, I want a real rich, saturated look. So did that, and then I came back after the marker and put more watercolor on, and that's why it has the nice ombre, whichever, shaded gradient across it. So all the colors are brought back together. So that's all those. And then let me go grab some of this Marvel Snap stuff. So actually, here's one right here. This one has been shown. Where are you? Let's see where I could put this. Hi, Booper. Have you guys died? Hi, Kenny. There you go. So that is an oil painting. And they had me change the lighting and the rocks at the last minute. So the actual card, the rocks are orange, but the original piece, everything is green. Because I did not have clear direction on that. So put her back up there. And there are other pieces in various stages of drying. There's Gracie Girl. And then let me go grab the goodie box. So don't mind my hand blocking the camera. If I can get it back in here. Oh, okay. That's that. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back with the other stuff. Watch out, girls. Watch out, babies. You're not going outside right now. You can't watch for snakes. All right. I knew where it was once I knew where it was. Go figure. Okay. Let me see where best to put this. Okay. Wait, on what, Bill? This is mixed media. The Emma up there is, oh, well, I can't have that other thing in there. This is just Copic. So that's the pile of markers that I used tonight. All right, let's pull all of these out. So these things nobody cares about because that was certainly an event. I got that. Gracie, what are you doing? Got my Power Girl. So this is mixed media as well. This is Copic and pastel. And this also is mixed media. So this is one of my first attempts at doing the full spectrum with watercolor, Copic, pastel. You can see the grain on there, which I actually enjoy. So that's a Superman cover. Got a Wonder Woman. This sold. I'm just waiting to get the address. And then this is watercolor and gouache. And I've got the Japanese gouache right there, which is incredible. So that is, I love that piece personally. I'm surprised nobody scooped it up, but it is what it is. So these are all for Peach Momoko's X-Men. So we got, I think, Surge? No, not, is it Surge? I think it's Surge. So we got that, And that as a set, like I said, the colors and the prints don't really do it justice. This is ancient. I don't know why that's still here. This is still here. I think these might end up getting raffled off at some point. If I get this channel growing, I'll probably do raffles. This was a very, very early attempt with the whole watercolor Copic pastel thing. Yes, Ivy is next. And then, oh, here we go. This is the fun stuff. Gracie, you just got to be in everything tonight, don't you? Okay. This is probably one of the best covers I have ever done in my life, and I don't know why the hell it's still here, but people don't buy Superman art too often. This thing in person, I might just end up keeping it myself because it's freaking pretty. And no, we haven't gotten to the snap stuff yet. So this is Amaranth. Oop, oop, oop. Okay, that is some of the snap stuff under that has not yet been released. So I'm going to have to dig through that section real quick. Okay. It's that. And, okay, let me move this over here. And then you guys can look at that while I try and get out the pieces that I can actually show. We've got Kate Bishop. This is for Marvel Snap. And this is the full spectrum of watercolor, Copic, gouache, pastel, kitchen sink. So she is coming up very soon. She's been data mined, so I'm not afraid of showing her for that. And then I just got the notification on this next piece tonight, but she is not publicly shown yet. So give me a second to find the ones that I can show. This is hard to do one-handed. Where is Frigga? That's not it. That's not it. That is definitely not it. Damn it, Megan. All right, 1 second, guys. I gotta figure this out real quick. Oh! As I drop everything. That's good. That's safe. That's good for selling stuff. Well, here's the Genshin comment. Got Beidou. These are some of the prettiest pieces I have ever done in my life that I can't show until they're released. But we've got Frigga. So this in person, I hope the camera can pick up the colors on this. It is really freaking pretty in person. It's not a character probably anybody will care about, but it's just pretty. I'm really proud of how some of these came out. And then this is a cover. I can't show the other stuff, which is all in that pile, and that corner is all you're going to see. But there's an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces there. And there's a couple set aside for, oh, 6 pieces there. And there's a couple set aside for people that I know would be interested in them. But this is a Marvel cover. This is all gouache. This is an ancient Marvel cover that I did ages ago, which that's my car on it. And that was my old car. And then this is my very, very, very first painted cover. So long story about that piece, but I got it back. I sold it, regretted it, ended up getting it back. Those are oil paintings. Oil paintings done on Arches oil paper, which is absolutely fantastic to work on. I love this stuff to work on. Works really, really well for production work because you can print your line work onto it in a decent printer. That's a long story that I probably shouldn't go into on a public station channel. Yeah, well, we're going to just kind of nod and smile and say, no, I did not technically pay more for it. Right, Bubby? Right. So, and then over here we have the poison ivy upside down. So she is definitely next. I just needed to, I got all the normal skin tones done first, and then I'll jump on her because she's got the greeny pinky skin tone. But let me think. I think, yeah, guys, that's the tour in here tonight. And so we got dogs, got art, got garage stuff, got 82 degrees in here. So I'm nice and toasty. Hi, George. How are you? So yeah, that's it. So you know what? Maybe I'll do Ivy on a stream. So that might be fun. If I just got to figure out how to do it. Because it's watercolor. Oh, that'll be a challenge to do on a stream because I got my handy dandy heat gun, and that'll get very loud and obnoxious very quickly. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else you guys are curious about or have any other questions or want to see anything until the next stream? While I put all this stuff away. Because I have cats and cats are assholes. Oh. You're welcome. Thank you for popping in and being chatty. It's always kind of tough doing the streams and there's no interaction. Oh, okay. This is a lot of artwork. Hell. And it doesn't fit. Okay, hold on. Get in there. My flat files. I love these things. Yeah, this is first stream in, oh, good Lord. 3 years? 4 years, I think. Like, it's been a while. It's been a long while. But it's been at least since 2022 because that's when I got knocked out with doing all the production stuff. If anything else, oh, good Lord. I need to sort these drawers out. Maybe we should do that on a stream one day. Go through and dig through all the, oh my God. This right here is the concept art. The very, very first art I did for Red Thorn, which had been optioned, and then everything fell through miraculously after Neil Gaiman turned out to be a giant turd. So, go figure. But yeah, oh yeah. In Twitch, I could probably go on there and pull up what my last stream was on there. But yeah, it's been a while. But all right, well, I mean, is this where I'm supposed to plug make sure to like and subscribe, all that crap? Because it'd be nice, but you don't have to. I'd appreciate it, but you don't have to. But yeah, this has been fun. This has also been a lot. You know what? I actually don't have embarrassing GeoCities manga. So that stage of my life was gladly absent. I have, however, embarrassing GeoCities gargoyles artwork and Mortal Kombat artwork because I am old. Hit the bell. There it is. Wait, hold on. Do I have the bell in here? Do I have a bell? All the dog training crap I have in here, and I don't have a bell. I do have a whole bunch of leather working gear. All the crap I have. I don't have a bell. Huh. Blooper, where's your bell, Bubba? You have a bell. Let's see. Nope, I don't. Oh, look at you, you sad suck. Yeah, look at you. getting up. Are you tired? He wants to go to bed. But alrighty, guys, that should be it for tonight. Figure probably 2 weeks or so. I will try to do... I'm going to try and get Ivy done this weekend, so she might not be the one for the stream, but I'll figure something out for the stream. If you have any suggestions or anything, feel free to drop me a note, whether it's I just work on something that's already in progress or whichever. We'll figure it out. Yay. But all right, guys, thank you for stopping in and making this a fun experience for the first time in forever. And I will be back as soon as I can. So thank you. How the heck do I shut this thing off now? Thanks, guys.